Busy Sports, Andrew Goldstein and Zach Weiss, here with a couple girls from the Point Park women's, well, the only volleyball team at Point Park.
True.
How are you guys doing today?
Good.
Swell. How about yourself?
Oh, doing good, thanks.
Just start with, no, I'm back now, but just starting with the Clearwater tournament, just what's that like going there every single year, and for you guys in particular as seniors coming back with the trophy?
It's fun. It's Florida. It's a great tournament for the team to connect and really kind of mesh and have a couple days where we can enjoy each other. And, you know, obviously it's nice coming back with something shiny like the trophy. But, you know, it's really a chance for everyone to get in and play and have fun and work hard. So it's great.
I think that tournament comes at like the perfect time in the season, because usually the beginning of October you've been in school for a month and everybody's pretty much had at least 2 to 3 breakdowns already. So I think it's a good chance for everybody to just, you know, go to Florida, chill out for a couple days, and then, you know, play volleyball, because we actually enjoy that. So that's kind of like, you know, hitting, what do they say, 2 birds with 1 stone.
2 stones, 1 bird, something like that. Something around that.
That wasn't even good.
Yeah. Shut your mouth.
So, I mean, it's fun. I mean, it's just a nice way for us to do 2 things that we love, you know, not doing anything and playing volleyball.
Yeah.
So how was the weather down in Florida?
Oh, well, temperamental.
Yes, it was. The first day we got there, we're driving over the bridge, and it looks like Hurricane Central.
It was flooding.
It was flooding and raining, and so the Wednesday we kind of lost, but
Thursday was gorgeous.
Thursday was beautiful. The rest of the time was gorgeous. One of our games, well, one of the teams pulled out of the tournament, so we got out a little bit early on Friday, so we had the evening. It was very nice.
It's awesome.
5 was the magic number last week, a 5-set loss on Monday, and then the 5-set comeback. Just what was going through your head in both of those 5th sets, obviously on the wrong end on Monday, but on the right end on Saturday in 15-4 fashion?
Well, I think the biggest thing for us right now, you know, we obviously are a really talented team, but I think we just need to strive for consistency a little bit more. On Monday, you know, we weren't as consistent as we hoped. I think we kind of underlooked Fairmont a little bit, and then that came back to, you know, bite us in the butt. But we definitely learned our lesson, and Saturday we definitely made sure that didn't happen. So Clearwater's the best team at that tournament. They are every year. You know, they've won nationals multiple years in a row. So it's a very good team, and we always look forward to playing them. And so going to 5 with them is a really good game. It was a really intense game. The whole crowd was in it. But luckily that 5th set, we didn't even let them look like they had a chance. So
5 sets is a long time. So you have to pull through it all, win or lose.
So clearly you've enjoyed going to Florida over the years, but right now you're in a new conference and you're traveling to places like Kentucky, Ohio, West Virginia, really all throughout the season. What's that travel been like for you?
I mean, you kind of have to look at it the same way as it was in the AMC conference. It's all still travel. You all still have to do the same thing. They're long trips, but you have to take advantage of them as far as doing your homework. And I mean, it's a longer bus ride, but it's kind of the same.
What about going to St. Louis, I think a little later, or Midway, Missouri, wherever that is?
Kentucky, yeah. Kentucky. Georgetown and that. I think that's going to be, I mean, that's going to be the longest trip we've ever had to drive to, but I think, especially since we're such a senior-heavy team, I think a lot of us are really, really used to it by now. And, you know, 6-7 hours, you learn when to fall asleep and when to watch the movie, you know. So I think we've learned by now, and we've managed to make the trips thus far fun. I mean, when we went to Indiana East, obviously that was another hard 5-setter, but the nights before that, you know, we try to make it not all business until the next day. If we do leave a little bit early, you know, we'll have fun, we'll go to the pool, we'll hang out, watch Ghost Adventures.
Yes.
You know, Ghost Adventure Fridays are definitely in. So we usually make the best of it, but travel has never really been a problem with our team. I mean, we leave pretty early, so we're usually there in plenty of time.
We're prepared.
So
Just where do you think, as a team, you're at right now in comparison to might not even be last year, but just where are you now and where do you hope to be? at about the halfway point?
Yeah, well, it's about the mid-season point, and you know, obviously, I think we've got a lot done. We've found some ways that don't work as far as losing a couple there, but you know, we obviously have a lot of goals we still want to reach, and we still have a lot of work to do, but that midway point, you just kind of have to like light that fire again and figure out how to keep pushing through and get another jump ahead. So
that's kind of how the Florida trip helps, is because that's kind of that spark where, all right, get your time on the beach, get your I wish I had nothing to do, you know, mentality out in those couple of days. But I mean, the halfway point, as Coach says, this is our second season. This is where we play the bulk of our conference matches. So these are the really important ones. I mean, playing Clearwater and good teams like Fairmont and people like that are good, but now we're in the conference tournament, which is essentially what really matters. So these are going to be the games that are going to be most important, you know, when it comes to November and getting that seeding that we want, and then eventually, I mean, the goal is nationals, but I'm pretty sure that's obvious.
Speaking of the new conference, I believe you're 4-1 in conference so far. What have you thought of the competition that you've faced?
Well, we faced one really good team. We played Indiana East. Obviously, that was probably one of the most physical teams we've played against, and it was a really good matchup. We just couldn't hold it out till the end, but it kind of set, you know, the standard for us at what our competition's going to be come the conference championship, because I think Indiana East is definitely going to be the top dog that we're going to be going with. But the other teams we've played have just kind of been, you know, so-so. So far we haven't really gotten to the big bulk of our conference, but thus far Indiana East, good test of our will, and I think come the national tournament we can take them.
I like this conference.
We've kind of touched on it just on the road, but it seems that with the KIAC matches kind of being, and the switch kind of being a little late, you've been on the road a little bit more, in addition to it being a tough schedule. Just how does that impact the team, and how much of a help could that be to get to that national tournament goal?
Well, I mean, our schedule's set up a certain way, and like I said, as far as travel goes, it's just something that goes with it, and you have to deal with it. But as far as getting into the bulk of the season, like we said, we'll travel a little bit more. I was going to Kentucky and Western Ohio a little bit. So, I don't know, it's just, like I said, it's something we have to deal with, but it prepares you for taking that next step, because, like we said, we want to get to Iowa, so that's further away than Kentucky, I believe.
Exactly. So, but I think it was set up purposely like that, so that, you know, at the end of the season, Clearwater's fun, but that's a lot of travel. And I mean, going to Iowa, hopefully we would fly. Coach, if you're listening, wink, wink. But, you know, that prepares you to be able to, you know, get off a bus, get it together. And I think if we can pull a lot of these road matches out, then that'll definitely help our confidence when we do have to travel to, you know, Cincinnati or eventually, hopefully, Iowa, that we won't have that travel lag, as people, you know, call it. You know, you can't play away, but you can play at home. So I think that it's set up in a good way that at the end of the season we'll be prepared for what we're going to face at the higher levels.
The volleyball team seems to have a greater amount of competition on their schedule, more matchups than really any other of the teams at Point Park, other than maybe the baseball team. But you have a really compact schedule for a lot of months in a row. How do you guys take care of being able to handle such a busy season?
Naps.
Yeah, lots of napping. Volleyball season is kind of hard to explain because it's a lot of matches in a short amount of time. I mean, it's 2.5, 3-ish months, but we play a lot of games. So, I don't know, personally, I always feel like I do better in school-wise when I'm really busy, because I know I only have a certain amount of time to do things and I have to practice at this time and this time. But, I mean, I think everybody has their own type of schedule and way of dealing with it, but like we said, sometimes in a weekend we'll play 5 matches, 4 matches. So that's a lot, but you just have to it's what we have to do, and you have to find a way to work around it. But
and that's why volleyball is so different than other sports. I mean, you'll never see basketball playing more than 2 games in a weekend. You know, baseball maybe we'll have 3 or 4, but at that Clearwater tournament we were supposed to play 5 games. I mean, how many sports really allow you to play 5 games in one weekend and still, you know, be ready as soon as that first set starts, like you haven't played a game before? So I think especially you learn in college, there's kind of that freshman to sophomore transition where you kind of learn, okay, maybe I shouldn't, you know, go out as much. I should do my homework the day before I think I need to do it. You know, definitely organization and getting to bed. Like, you will never appreciate sleep as much as you do as a college athlete. You can find an hour for a nap, you take it. So, I mean, I think it's just the little things, you know, eating right, getting to bed, getting your homework done so you're not worried about that when you're on the court and you're like, crap, I have a test tomorrow, when you should be focusing on the game. So I think it's just a balance, and I think that's something that comes with maturity and growing up a little bit.
Speaking of hard to explain, I went down for one of the first days of practice, and I was immediately whisked into playing defense and having MJ try to teach me defense. Just how hard is it to play defense, and how terrible was I?
Oh my, you are not terrible.
We've seen worse.
Yes, we've seen worse. You are a wonderful beginner, and you should stick with it. Come by, I'll show you more tricks. Playing defense is awesome. You, Lindsay, were just a hitter in the beginning, and now we've converted you to the dark side of defense, if you want to call it that.
And now I never want to go to the front row.
Right.
Sometimes she has to push me into the front row because
I do.
Defense kind of gives you like a high. Like when anybody can hit a ball, anyone can throw a ball hard, anyone can serve a ball hard. You know, those are all things that, you know, in the greater picture, a lot of people are worried about the kills and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, when that person gets that crazy up, or I see Alyssa or MJ or Artinger running into the wall after a ball and they get it up and we get it over the net, that's not a hard hit, but I bet you there's no one else sitting in those stands that can even come close to how much these girls dive on the floor.
We're also very theatrical.
Exactly. It's a lot of dramatics.
Yes.
So it doesn't look as hard as it is. We just make it look fancy.
Yes.
Anything else just in final at all?
We have a couple of home matches coming up. Come on out.
Next weekend. 2
2
conference games.
Yep.
I'll be there. That should be extra incentive.
Exactly.
Yeah, definitely.
You get to see me dance, which is a sight in itself.
Oh yes. There's lots of dancing. We have a lot of fun. So come on out.
We love playing in the Student Center, especially because it's so easy for people to come, and the more obnoxious the outfits, the better. So anything you can do to intimidate our opponents would be great. So come with all sarcastic jokes, prepared.
Yes, costumes, headpieces, all of it. Bananas.
Banana nuts. Yeah. But the next match will be Saturday at Alderson Broaddus, followed by a home match Wednesday against Emory, Georgia. And then 2 matches on Saturday, October 20th, Indiana Southeast and Berea, Kentucky. Be there, be square. It's at the Student Center. You get in free with student ID, so if you don't go, shame on you. And these 2 will get you. So that's about it. So we're up against a break, and Fearless NFL forecast after this here on 670 AM WPPJ Radio.